I'm Gentleman Josh Hill.
I'm Aaron Jeffrey.
I'm Johnson Jazz Busiest.
I'm Mike Malott.
I'm Ruffian Style.
Tune into the
Don't Tap
podcast.
Don't Tap
podcast.
John Jones.
Follow me on Twitter.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.
To me, the Lions are the number one rankings out there. Those guys are the ones who really do their homework.
Man, that's why I'm saying the rankings are bullshit.
from Canada.
Got a really high fight IQ.
But this fight, I'm telling you, it's a flip of a coin.
Levels to the shit.
So many high-level guys.
So, like, the Lion is crazy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no, we're good. See, he's a pro.
So we're here, Don't Tap Podcast, back with Damon Jackson, live from Tennessee. So Damon, first I want to congratulate you on the new venture in your life. You have I know you were a personal trainer and doing that. And myself, I used to work in the personal training background at LA Fitness as a director. So watching you doing the training all the time and training people all the time was awesome. But now to see you have your own place, I know what that means as a trainer, as a fighter, as an entrepreneur, and even a dad. Talk about that and how proud you are of that whole scenario at Lakeside Fortis.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Definitely a learning experience for sure. It's like I've been around it my whole life, so it kind of made sense to do it that way. And me and my wife have been wanting to do this since we were in college. So it's been great though so far. It's been awesome.
That's awesome. And so have you seen in the past couple months, like I noticed the classes look like they're getting a little bit bigger and things are starting to move. How has it been being able to try to mix in being sort of the lead horse at that gym, then also running your own training camp and mixing that in as well too? I know you've been a guy who's been able to juggle things pretty well, but how has it been with adding that new wrinkle in?
Yeah, it definitely challenging whenever I first started, but I have a lot of teammates that are really supportive, coming out and training with me because for a while I was actually teaching a lot of the guys wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So a lot of them were coming in for private lessons at different times with either their self or with other clients. So when I open the gym, a lot of those guys come see me still 3 to 4 days a week. So I'm getting to train, in the mornings in Dallas, and I come back there and I'm there the whole day. So it's been really good for this camp though.
And then for you, even adding, you're probably training people even a lot more as well now too. Is there a lot of value for you? Not everybody gets value out of being the coach and translating it into their actual fighting skills as well. Does that work for you as being the coach and constantly drilling with people and working with people that are just starting in MMA?
Yeah, it's been good because all the beginner level people, like they don't even know how to shadow box the right way. So, I'm showing them how to shadow box, showing them how the footwork, showing them different things like that. So it's been like it's a refresher to get back to that kind of style of, just, constant movement, constant like drilling, going, working with a partner on drills and things like that. So it's been great.
And now for you, I know the mental is pretty ironclad, but people don't really understand the highs and lows of MMA. I don't understand it. I try to understand it by talking to as many fighters as I can and dissecting wins and losses and trials and tribulations and training. For you, I know the intrigue of going into the battle with Dan Oge was, the stand-up, right? And you go in against Pat Sabatini, the high is you go in and knock him out. Against Oge, you get stopped yourself. Talk about that process to come back from that. And then just the rebuild and go from there. Some people, it doesn't phase as much. Some people, it takes a process. What is it for you with the mental process in that?
It's obviously losses suck, but at the end of the day, you're going in there with the best of the best. And, Dan's been around for a long time. So it's, to not be 100% and to go fight someone like that, you're asking for trouble. So I feel a lot more confident this fight just because I do feel 100%. My pec was basically like 95% tore during that fight, and I've been rehabbing like crazy, and I'm back to doing everything normal with my lifting, my grappling, wrestling, everything. So everything's normal again, which has been huge for confidence and stuff going into this fight. Just to have the ability to stop a takedown or to go for a takedown, it's nice to have that again. But that's the biggest thing that I would take away from that fight was that I wasn't prepared and I couldn't. It's not that I didn't want to be prepared. I didn't try to be prepared. It's just I wasn't prepared for that fight to take place like that on the feet. I wanted it to be on the ground. and I just couldn't take it there. So I've been training like crazy and drilling like crazy and feel great now. And it is what it is. Just moving forward and on to the next one.
And it is a question I was going to try to cleverly dance around, because who am I? I'm an average Joe. You're the fighter, and nobody understands game plan, strategy, and everything that goes into a fight. But for you being such a high-level wrestler, such a high-level grappler, a lot of the fans are wondering, there was no shots per takedown. Is that a huge part of that? Was that, I know that you wanted that, your stand-up is underrated and overshadowed by your wrestling and your grappling, and that's what it is. Dan Oge has power in his hands, and we know, he's a stand-up guy. I know you wanted to test yourself with that. But for you, was it the pec that really created the issue for you with the takedowns?
Yeah, I never saw entry because the entire fight camp, I didn't wrestle at all. Like I couldn't even in practice, like I couldn't even like force it. The entire camp, I had zero confidence going in with wrestling. And when I was moving with him, he was staying super low. He was like not giving me big entries. He was doing a really good job of like, anti-wrestling punches and kicks and stuff. So, like it was frustrating for sure because I didn't have confidence to like turn it loose on the feet because I knew how dangerous he was. But I also at the same time, I knew I wanted to fight on the ground and I had no way to get it there. So, I'm definitely way more prepared for that, style of my fighting this fight. And, very pleased with my fight camp.
I'm glad to see that the pack is back. And a lot of people don't really know about that. So that's an interesting thing. I didn't even notice that in Instagram as well too. Now I know Ige, like I was saying, we're not going to talk about him a lot, but the intrigue of him was the stand-up. Billy Quarantillo has some stand-up. He's got some wrestling. What is the intrigue? What's your intrigue with him as far as the matchup, as far as you getting ready for Billy? We know he has high volume, but tends to get taken down. So what isn't the intrigue about the matchup for you?
Definitely he's a fan favorite, and this is my first fight in front of fans since 2020. I've been at the Apex for my last 8 fights, so I'm just excited to get in there and mix it up with him. As far as like he's got the volume to go. He the whole time 3 rounds with lots of volume, so that makes him exciting for people to watch. But overall. I like the matchup in a lot of ways, but for like fan wise, it's going to be an exciting one for the fans for sure because we both have the ability to take it down. We have the ability to keep it up. We have the ability to go all 3 rounds. So it's got fight of the night written on it, and I think that that's really important to have. For both of us, I think we both want that exciting fight. But overall, I can edge him out with the wrestling all day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are clamoring that this could potentially be the fight of the night for sure. The two of you guys in there, it should be poetry of violence for sure. We're all pretty excited about that one. Now, if you look at it with Billy's high volume, he comes in typically and tries to stifle people with his pressure, stifle people. Like he's trying to throw at least and land about 7 strikes per minute that he's throwing. Yeah. For you, I know, when you're coming in, what is the best game plan? I know we can say as fans, but hey, do this, armchair quarterback saying, hey, do this, do that. No one knows what it takes to cage wrestle somebody. No one knows what it takes to close the distance on somebody safely. What is your sort of first round, and not strategy, but what is an overall way to sort of mitigate some of that volume?
I mean, you got to meet pressure with pressure. So he's coming forward, I'm coming forward. That's why I think it's going to be fight of the night. I think it's going to be I think we're both going to be each other's faces the whole fight, and I think it's going to make an exciting fight. But I think that's the only way. You can't run away. Once you're in there, you can't run. So it's going forward. Forward pressure means forward pressure, and it's going to be crazy little scrap for sure.
Now, so the injuries behind you. You have an amazing family. You have the new business. You have a solid team. One of the best coaches in the game. If you have all of that going, what's next for you? UFC fighter, the next 2 years, what's the plan for you? How many times do you want to try to fight? How far do you want to come up the rankings, and how quickly do you want to try to get to a belt?
I want to fight, like, as long as I'm healthy. I'd like to fight, 2 more times this year, if there's any way to make that happen. I think they're definitely one fight's going to happen, but if I can make two happen this year, that would be what I want. And that's my game plan, is to stay active, stay as busy as possible with everything I have going on. It's kind of, now that everything's open, it's kind of settling down a little bit. So I get to kind of sit back and see how things are going to play out, and if they're, as long as they play out the way I think they are, then I'll be good to go. And, it only gives me more confidence to have, all the success that I've had in, on the financial side and the business side of things. It's been huge, and it's only allowed me to train more. So if I could get to a point where I could just train, and that's the only thing I do, that would be just insanely awesome. But things have been great so far, and that's, my game plan is just to keep moving forward and keep doing as much as I can, and keep stacking it on, because it's been paying off. All the hard work's paying off.
Well, you are my underdog of the week. Obviously, I do a podcast that has a gambling side to it. The most fickle, horrible people in the world are cappers and wannabe cappers on YouTube, breaking down fights. But when it comes down to it, people, prior to your Sabatini KO, you were the guy. Everybody was clamoring, the dog that will fight for your money, the guy that will go, the guy that will do this, and they were all backing you. Sabatini win, they're high after your last loss, as they usually do. It's crickets. I'm backing you big time in this week. I think that you as an underdog in this I think it should be a pick 'em. I think you guys fighting, it could be a fight of the night. You guys fight 10 times, it's war, and it would be absolutely beautiful to watch. But I think you as an underdog, you going in there and being able to implement a little bit of wrestling, stand up, and maybe even a sneaky round kick. Man, I'm looking forward to it. Dog of the week, Damon Jackson. And for all of you, get ready, because it's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah, man. No, I'm excited for sure. I appreciate everybody's support. I've had a lot of people reaching out to me. It's been cool. But, I'll be ready to roll Saturday night for sure. My name is Damon Jackson, UFC featherweight. Tune into the Don't Tap podcast.